Hey guys, welcome to our channel. And today, I'll be reading Abacus Reader by Totoro Sky on Tumblr. So let's get into it. Katsuki had been staring in the mirror for far too long, double-checking his outfit, double-checking his hair. He felt stupid doing so, but he felt even more stupid due to how much he actually cared about them. That was the only reason he was clenching his hands, nervously, as he tried to breathe some calmness into him. He was going to meet Juan's family for the first time, and more importantly, as the official boyfriend. He had not needed Kirishima on his back the whole week, repeating how an important step it was, like a broken record. Just he hadn't cared about romanticism before did not mean he was an ignorant person. He snapped his tongue, being tired of himself. He was not going to achieve anything by staring at the damn mirror. The first step of a good impression was to arrive right on time. And that advice had actually come from his father, and not Kirishima. He did not need it either. His mother, Mitsuki, had made sure to shove some good manners into him as a kid, even though he had done his absolute best back then to hide them. He had gone to their house ready and mentally prepared for everything. Then, he discovered he was not actually prepared for truly everything. Their parents, well, Ryan's parents were quite okay. A normal couple with a decent marriage. Still together and still winning the test of time. Both of their parents had welcomed him in with open arms and warm smiles. Katsuki had actually managed to keep his language under control, as well with his voice tone. He saw Ryan smiling happily at this, which helped him to relax. For the first half an hour, he felt like he was doing okay, and he felt right, in control. Small talk about school and about his formal expectations of going to NGOA. It was until it was time to eat dinner when the whole mirage was broken with a quick punch. The whole illusion they had been able to put up fell down like broken glass, shining some light for Baka about the true situation Maya was in daily. Their brother finally walked in, quickly shaking Bako's hand in a tight grip and sitting down. The first insult came quick and in form of a supposed joke. The brother had laughed along about the distasteful joke. Katsuki blinked twice. Their parents didn't react to this, their expressions immutable. They were still talking about some dumb shit, leaving Katsuki baffled. Hadn't they heard the guy calling Mayan useless? Katsuki turned to them, and they were keeping their eyes low, keeping their attention on their food. Maybe that was normal. He didn't feel it was the case. But he went along with the ignorance as a blast game. A second insult rolled around. This one, more directly. Do something good for once and pass me the salt. Ryan obeyed silently. Not so stupid, the brother said. Katsuki's hand then twitched, clutching his fork strongly, focusing not to explode. He felt impotent. He recognized the behavior as his own, which made him feel more frustrated. Could he actually say a word to their brother when he himself had treated people the same before? He turned to see Ryan. Their expressions had darkened. Their factions seemed tight and cold. Of course, their dynamic wasn't like that. Ryan had never said anything about their brother. They had never even mentioned the small fact of how they endured so much verbal abuse, one coming from their own blood. By the time he left, he had a headache for holding back so much. Not only his body, but his whole mind from leading into one of his usual anger attacks and jumping on the guy. What disturbed him the most was the casual smile on their parents' faces. He had tried to clear his mind that night, but he couldn't. That Saturday night, he had only been able to stare at the ceiling, overthinking all that he heard and all that he had said in his past. This time, that hurtful attitude had too close to home for his liking. Monday rolled around, and he was quieter than usual. He had spent the day attentive to everything around him. All of his friends had been whispering about his behavior right on his back, but he had not even heard a thing. It had been a horribly eye-opening weekend. He was making his way to his room at the dorms, all on his own, when his sleeves were pulled softly. He turned to find their face full of concern. The sunset had perfectly settled, leaving the surroundings deepened in an intense orange color. "Are you okay?" Ryan asked. "Are you?" he asked, his voice too thoughtful and too out of character. "Huh?" they asked, confused as they tilted their hat. "Were you going to tell me your brother was a piece of shit?" He growled, and her eyes widened for a mere second, and then they averted his penetrating gaze. It wasn't a cold stare, or an angry one. Katsuki's eyes were so unperturbed it was a bizarre image. "I ignore him. I can take it." "You're one awful liar." Katsuki stretched his hand, resting it on the back of their head, and turned it towards him. "It is messed up, Ryan." His solemn tone mixed with his words, and brought them down to tears. On his side, Katsuki didn't tell them to stop crying, or make any more use of his rude language. He pushed her head towards his chest, leaving his head on top of their head. He knew it was time to stay quiet. "Please don't do anything," they asked between small sobs. I have to handle it myself." Katsuki didn't like it much, but it was the right thing to do. He could not meddle into the situation. Getting their parents to hate him would only make things more problematic for Ryan. "Okay," he only said. "And for now, he would be there for you, for as long as you need it."